Hello everyone, this is the second video in learning how to solve algebraic equations. And as you can see, the first thing I'm going to be talking about is the golden rule. And the golden rule states that whatever you do to one side of the equation, you must do the exact same side, or the exact same operation to the other side. So for example, let's say I have my left side of the equation over here, and then I have my equal sign in the middle, and then I have my right side of the equation. Now let's say I need to get something to cancel out on the left. Let's say it's 6x. So I'm adding, let's say I have to cancel it out by adding 6x to the left side. Well, if I do that, then I must also add 6x to the right side. Now this can also work vice versa. Let's say I have my left side of the equation, and then I have my right side of the equation. And let's say there's something on the right side that I need to cancel out, and let's say I'm canceling out multiple of 2. So I'm going to divide the right side by 2 in order to cancel it out. If I divide the right side by 2, however, then I must also divide the left side by 2. So you can clearly see that whatever I am doing to one side of the equation, I have to do the exact same thing, the same operation, whether it's addition, multiplication, subtraction, division. I must use the same operation and the same numbers and or variables. Now we can actually get into solving one-step equations. So to begin, let's say that we have the equation 3 plus x equals 4. So first you want to ask yourself, well, first of all, is it an equation? Clearly this is an equation because we have an equal sign in the middle. Now, what I'm trying to solve for is my unknown. Remember what my unknown is. My unknown is represented by variables. My variable in this equation is x. So I want to get, what that means is I want to get x all by his lonesome on this one side, all by himself. So I want the variable, just one variable on this side, with then everything else on the opposite side. Now in order to solve for this variable, I want to get rid of the 3 on the left side. So what I'm going to do is, if I have a positive 3, I will cancel that out by doing essentially the opposite. The opposite of a positive 3 is, you guessed it, a negative 3. So I'm just going to rewrite my equation down here so things line up more nicely for everyone. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to subtract 3 from both sides. Remember, if I'm subtracting 3 on the left side of my equation, I also have to subtract it on the right side. So now I've gotten a positive 3 minus 3 equals 0. So those cancel out, so I can cross that out. Now what I'm left with on this left side, I must bring it down, and what I'm left with is x, so I can write x. Remember, I also have to remember to put my equal sign in the middle here still. Now on my right side of the equation, I originally had 4, but now since I subtracted 3 from the left side, I also have to subtract 3 from the right side. So I have 4 minus 3 is, you got it, 1. So this is our very first example of solving an algebraic equation. And what you're going to notice as we go along here is that when we are adding between numbers and variables in the equation, in order to cancel things out, so to cancel, this is going to be what we must do in order to cancel out addition. So the opposite of addition is subtraction. Now let's say I was subtracting between numbers and variables. In order to cancel those out, what is the opposite of subtraction? You got it. It is addition. Now we're getting a little more tricky here. What if I have multiplication? The opposite, of multiplication would be division. And then as you can see with this pattern here, if we are dividing in our original equation, then to cancel out, we must do the opposite, which is multiplication. So now we're going to go through a few more examples of solving systems of, not systems of equations, just algebraic equations in one variable.